Hello indie game fans, another fantastic week of new indie games awaits us with entries across my favourite genres like roguelite, action platformer, Zelda-style action-adventure, FPS, tactics and more, so see what's of interest in this edition of indie gaming this week. Let's begin with Ganryu 2, a ninja action platformer that I did preview when looking at the best upcoming games of the month, where most interestingly, this is the direct sequel to an arcade platformer from 1999, where somehow the license is in the hands of French developer Storybird Studio. I do think that the pixel art in this looks nice, managing to capture that classic arcade look but without scan lines of course, with fantastic action making this of interest. A game which I remember covering as well is Godlike Burger, a Diner Dash style cooking and management sim where you're running an intergalactic burger restaurant but does have a twist. Yes indeed, you're going all Sweeney Todd on your customers, killing them and using them as ingredients in your burgers, so how's that for a twist on the overcooked formula? I'm curious as to the upgrades and progression, but it certainly looks like a good time. Lila's Sky Arc is the next game from developer Monolith of Minds, the makers of the decent action game Resolution, so enjoy this narrated trailer.
Dear Mom, I was wondering, are you alright?
Everything's alright.
Here on the island, everyone seems fine. The beetles are crawling, the dinos are singing, and the rocks are rolling.
Everything's alright.
But we're at war, aren't we? There's something crawling under my skin. A dread that doesn't want to break through. Every night, I feel like I'm drowning.
Everything's alright.
Then, every morning, I wake up again. And all of my friends are still there, still fine. I guess I am okay after all. But you, Mom, you're not alright, are you? You're...
If you love first-person shooters, I do have some titles of interest for you, the first of which is Warstride Challenges, which itself describes as Doom meets Super Meat Boy, so if you have no idea what that means, listen on. It is a level-based game with relatively short levels, throwing you right into the action with blasting away at enemies and traversing through the level at a very high speed, requiring precision and even a speed-running element where the action and visuals look fantastic.
Mars. When we left our home, it seemed surreal that we would actually reach it. Now, we're here. Our mission: establish a permanent colony, explore, expand, and start terraforming the planet.
For something more cerebral, Terraformers is a management sim that has you turning the red planet blue, looking fantastic as well, so enjoy the trailer.
The Martian environment is dangerous, and so is daring to terraform a planet. But we will adapt, plan, and improve. Together, we will overcome the obstacles, transform the planet itself, and spread life. I dream that one day we'll take off our helmets and breathe fresh Martian air. I dream that one day we will call this place our home.
No bigger games this week, so Smaller Games kicks off with Aircraft Carrier Survivor, a management sim where you're put in charge of such a ship, fending off threats of enemy warships, planes and submarines, while managing the crew, conducting damage control and fighting back all at the same time. Galactic Wars EX is a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up that has its roots in the Pico 8 engine if I'm not wrong, looking like it's for fans of the genre. Immortal Mantis is a creepy horror title where you have to survive against a serial killer, looking pretty creepy and well made. The unfortunately named Kill Your Friends is a local multiplayer arena shooter that kinda looks like multiplayer Nuclear Throne, so I do hope it's fun with friends.
Imagine having the world at your fingertips.
A click away from catastrophe.
A circuit board away from success.
The other space title of interest this week is Orbit.industries, one that has you building and managing a space station where it mixes the best of sci-fi literature, movies and TV with actual astrophysics and science, resulting in quite the interesting prospect.
Imagine.
Success and failure both at your fingertips. Are you ready to face it all?
Lea koko assikit jäivän taan suutohkaa kuoktaansa. Kaskeja, ietsät oarrinsa kuoran. Jaakame lakapui.
Farmasimmaiton parkehtaan kohtachiin. Tjähpi, tuolla ei.
Skabma Snowfall is another title which I've showcased before, being an action-adventure title that looks very authentic to the culture that it is tapping upon, making this one to watch.
Manin hallita, vattasmahti taas.
Hieman miinusteppu oiviko Jordan.
Mutta jos piutu koosnuu liikostuva, maailmi jämmä.
Mana!
Ei mun teetä muuta manne.
Sättää somaa, täivari tuu sieluin.
Let's kick off the top 5 with Ember Knights, a pixel art action roguelite that I've been looking forward to for a very long time since the action just looks so slick and fantastic. You and up to 3 other players play as legendary knights, fighting against a mad sorcerer and his forces in order to save the world from corruption. As far as I can tell, the playable characters are all identical and only differ visually, but where there is a relic system, meta progression and what looks to be plenty of upgrades, with the high bit pixel art looking so good, making it of interest. An impressive looking indie game is Uncharted, one that, most interestingly, comes to us from Indonesian developer Stella Null, so Southeast Asia represent. It is a Zelda-style action-adventure game where, curiously, our protagonist wields a bell as a weapon, fighting enemies, solving puzzles and restoring the land of Uncharted to its former glory. I really like the look of this in terms of the pixel art, although the colour palette chosen is interesting, being a little bit more brown than I would have liked. However, if you're in the mood for more Zelda-style games, this is the title to get.
Is all we see or seem but a dream within a dream? Let's just say that in search of a greater heaven, I found a lower hell.
We don't get many stealth games these days, which is why Winter Ember is of particular interest to me, one where you play as a faceless man or assassin on a grand mission of revenge against those who removed your family and their legacy from the history books. If anyone remembers the Cyberpunk 7 The Days Long Gone, this game reminds me of that, but with a much more classic medieval setting where you're skulking about in the dark, waiting for the right opportunity to strike, even having a variety of skill trees and different playstyles. It looks very good, so of course it gets a special mention. I did cover Turbo Overkill quite recently as well, and here we already are with the release. And if you could not tell what was happening in the opening seconds of this trailer, yes indeed, those are chainsaw legs, so how awesome is that? It is a boomer shooter through and through, where if the choice of music and how this trailer is cut together is any indication, the developer knows exactly what they're doing and seem to be huge fans of the all-action first-person shooter, which gives me confidence in this title. Most interestingly, there does appear to be quite the variety of weapons like machine guns, flamethrowers, grenade launchers and more, even allowing you to use your cyborg arm and do things like going guns akimbo while on a flying car, looking so awesome and is an obvious pick. The Iron Oath is a fantastic open-world tactical RPG with an extensive trailer, so see why it deserves the #1 spot.
Mercenary life isn't for the frail or timid. It's a good thing you look ready. Come, let me tell you about the Iron Oath. Everything that it has to offer, and all it could take away. I see you've already borne witness to the treacheries and betrayals of this godforsaken world. So you know how rare it is to find steadfastness among soldiers of fortune. Trust is key when building your own crew. Remember, loyalty is earned, not given. Pay them well and respect their advice. Your company might not always agree with your decisions, but a few rounds at the local tavern can go a long way in ensuring your crew stays your crew. When assembling your forces, choose the best of the best, and find those with the skills you need to get the job done. Find recruits with desirable traits, and shelter their weaknesses by upgrading their abilities and equipping them with the finest weapons, armor and provisions you can find. Anything to give you an edge in battle. The more successful you are, the more renown your company receives. And that means big perks for your team. The more your team members fight, the stronger their attributes and abilities become. There's nothing like a Pyrolancer's blazing lance or a Stormcaller's tempest to put your enemies in their place. Contracts are a mercenary's bread and butter. Don't think you can say your good old time finishing the job. The longer it takes, the more things can go wrong. Your enemies can smell you coming. Be on the lookout for traps and ambushes. Morale only goes so far when your crew is battered and bruised. Make camp to rest and heal your crew. But keep watch, lest you be attacked in the night. Be sure to take injured party members to the infirmary, or their condition may worsen. Time is of the essence, and it's best spent completing contracts, which you'll need to support the cost of leading a mercenary band. If they're lucky, your crew will grow old and retire from this mercenary lifestyle. If they're not, well, that's why it's a good idea to have a few extra hands on deck for when the worst happens. Dying a peaceful death is a rarity in this world. A mercenary's reputation is everything. Act honorably and enjoy the goodwill of the citizens you meet. Walk an unscrupulous road, and the odd assassin or bounty hunter may cross your path. A wretched gift from a nasty noble, I reckon. Nobles will make moves to secure their power, and you just might have to adjust your politics to stay in a profitable position. A changing political landscape of Clement can make earning your coin more difficult. Battles are not exclusive to the underground, and you may be caught up in wars between factions and cities. If the problems of men weren't enough, there are whispers about the return of the Scourge, an ancient and cataclysmic event that threatens to blight the land. This is the life you've chosen. These are the ways of the mercenary. Those who walk timidly, weak and alone, are consumed by the fires of this world. The strong are forged anew. That is why we band together. That is why we take the iron oath.
For more tactics titles, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.